Rob Smith Media, and I'm here with Mo the Terminator Zubair. He takes on Mateo. I'm going to butcher this. Mateo Lerena at FCR in Sweden. Mo, how we doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. So let's talk about this matchup with Mateo. So you're undefeated. You're 5-0. He's a very solid opponent. So what do you make of Mateo as an opponent?
Yeah, he's good. We've watched tape on him and he's good. He's actually I think he was 8-0 as an amateur. His last name was different on there. It's like Mateo Rodriguez or something. But yeah, he's undefeated as an amateur, he's undefeated as a pro. So he's a solid opponent, he's a good test, but I believe I'm better and we'll see that on the night.
So it's a case of someone's always got to go in this fight. And so I want to talk about you being, undefeated as a professional. You're 5-0, and I remember I watched you fight at Unity, and you got a knockout in like 7 seconds. It was something crazy, something daft. And so
Yeah,
talk to us about being undefeated as a pro. What sort of pressures and is it the goal for you to stay undefeated, or is it more just about challenging yourself against the best? 'Cause I do think obviously no one's looking to lose, but I also think in MMA it's hard to stay undefeated. So what sort of is it adding extra pressures being undefeated for you?
no, not really. I know that recently I've really found myself as a fighter. You can see it in my results, and I just want to get to the UFC. So I'm just fighting whoever's in front of me, whoever I get offered. So yeah, just whatever I can get to the UFC or Contender Series. That's my goal. So yeah.
You mentioned how you've recently found yourself as a fighter. What do you think led to you finally finding your like find yourself as a fighter? What led you feeling more comfortable in your ability?
I don't know, but I believe it's come down to my age now. I'm 25. I've been in the game a while, So I believe now that at this age, everything's gelling together for me, and I feel really good everywhere, like physically, mentally, everything feels really good. So I believe that now is like it's truly my time.
And to talk about like sort of training camp and how training's been going, because you mentioned there you've watched some tape on your opponent. What sort of things do you think he does well, and what sort of things you know he might not do as well?
He's an aggressive striker that likes to come forward. There's his two pro fights. He ain't really fought no one. He's got him out of the first round. Um. So yeah, he likes to come forward, likes to throw big shots, but I don't believe he's fought anyone that's like me. I can grapple, I can wrestle, and I fucking hit hard as well as all my training partners and that now. So I know with me, like whatever happens, I know that one shot and I can finish a fight. So yeah, without sounding big-headed, of course, but yeah.
And so obviously you mentioned that how your opponent is very aggressive, and he has had some early finish in his career, like yourself. So how do you plan to counteract his aggressive approach?
If he wants, I'll meet him in the center and throw with him. I ain't afraid of a gunfight. I feel really strong in that in the pocket as well. Even in my sparring and that recently, I just feel solid and strong. So if he wants to come forward and meet me in the center, I'll happily stand there and meet him in the center. If he wants to grapple or wrestle, then we can do that. I'm comfortable anywhere.
And as we approach fight week, I kind of want to talk to you about like the mental preparation behind fighting, 'cause that's something that really interests me as like as a fan of the sports. What sort of mental strategies do you employ to sort of mentally prepare for a high stakes fight like this?
I'm I'm cool, calm. Like I like to speak a lot more to the people close to me. Like obviously I've got my head coach Tom Breeze there, so we chat a lot. I got my striking coach Zach Garbutt, so I feel really good. When I know that it's my time. Like inside, like I know that it's my time and it's my moment and everything's meant to be for me. So yeah,
And with a victory next week, you'll turn it into 6-0, and obviously that's an impressive record according to anybody. If you look at 6-0, you think that's a very good record. And so you mentioned that how UFC is the goal Contender Series. How realistic do you think getting to Contender Series is? Maybe looking to next year. Maybe is it a little bit further away? How far away do you think you are from the UFC?
I believe Contender Series next year is very realistic. That's what we're setting sights on. I believe that I'm not. After next week, I believe that maybe two, three more fights max. So yeah, that's what my eyes are set, and that's what I'm gonna get Contender Series next year. If a late notice call up come up for the UFC, like of course I'd take it. Who wouldn't take it? So yeah.
So you plan doing a bit of a Harry Hardy, jumping in like 5 days notice and chin someone, get a UFC contract at the plan.
I was stepping on the day if they called me.
And so this fight's in Sweden. It's not, when you think of MMA, you don't really think of Sweden. It's a bit of a mad country for it, really. And so but offers a lot of international exposure. So how important is that for you to kind of fight in different countries and kind of gain more fans across the world?
It's big. The event's live on Fight Pass, so getting my name out there on Fight Pass. I'm looking to get a big finish or something. I want to get my name out there more. I want to get because my name's well known in the UK. I want to push it out a bit more and expand my brand out there. So I believe this opportunity coming up in Sweden is perfect to get my name out there and show the world who I am.
And I want to talk about your like the sort of amateur scene in MMA because if people look at your topology, I'm sure you even say yourself, you had a bit of a hit and miss amateur career, but it's really clicked on as a pro. And so, but I believe you kind of showed the right mindset as an amateur. I always stress because I work a lot with amateur fighters. I always stress that record isn't really the biggest thing. It's about who you're fighting, if you're challenging yourself, and how often you're fighting. Because it's about being comfortable. I believe you're the perfect example of this because like I think I'm not too sure. I can't remember off the top of my head what your amateur record was, but now as a pro, you're undefeated, and it looks night and day difference. Talking about the importance of activity as an amateur and just willing to take on any challenge.
You can't buy that experience as an amateur. Obviously, I fought the best guys there was at amateur. I've been in there with Luke Riley, Luke Pemberthy, Dan Bainbridge. I fought all the best guys at amateur that I could. I took fights on short notice. I even took fights on 6 hours notice before went in there and got a win. So it was all experience. I was looking at it as, oh, fuck the record, who cares? I won two amateur titles, and I just stayed as active as I can. Fought whoever was offered to me, and I believe that experience is gonna play a big part next week because he's had what 10 fights. This is gonna be my 20th, so I'm coming in with double the experience, and that's a big advantage to me, I believe.
And I think you see it a lot nowadays. I think people kind of rush going pro. They might have like say they'll have like 5 or 6 fights and they look at going pro. And I think, do you believe having so much experience, like you've now got 20 fights under your belt, do you think that gives you a mental edge going to your fights?
Yeah, you can't buy experience. Like you can't buy it. So any amateurs out there, I'd say, yo, just take as many fights as you can and turn pro when your coach believes you're ready. Don't rush it. Because if you rush it and then you make the mistakes at pro, you're gonna be like, yo, shit, man, I should have had more amateurs or I should have waited. You know what I mean?
You mentioned earlier about your coach Tom Breach. He's someone who's been around the game for so long. He's been at the highest of highs. He's been in the UFC. So how important is his influence in your career?
Yeah, it's a big influence because he's been where I want to go. I want to be in the UFC, and he's been there. He's fought top guys in the UFC. So just everything he says, I soak up all his knowledge like a sponge and listen to him because obviously he's been there and done that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And I want to talk about your nickname. It's one of my favorites, like the Terminator. Is that based off the film or is that based off like your fighting style? Where'd that come from?
No, it's mad. I've never watched the film.
Oh,
It was
right. You've got to watch the film. You've got to watch it. It's so good.
I had an amateur fight against Andy Yates for the golden ticket flyweight bout, and I just kept coming forward the whole fight, throwing. He was hitting me with some good shots. I was hitting him with some good shots, and they just started calling me the Terminator after that fight. So yeah.
And I'm always curious because so how do you sort of balance everyday life with mixed martial arts? Are you training full time or do you have like work outside of MMA? So how do you sort of balance that?
Now I train full time. Literally, my life is MMA. I don't do nothing else. I'm in the gym 2, 3 times a day training. When I go home, I'm watching tape. So yeah, literally, my whole life revolves around MMA.
And do you have any sort of hobbies in your downtime outside of MMA to kind of take your mind off things?
Nah, nothing. I want to get to the UFC, so there's my brain's always ticking, thinking fights, 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 fights.
And to the message to the fans who are going to be watching you fight on your UFC fight, FCR fans going to be watching UFC Fight Pass, what is your message to them?
Expect to see a big finish or a war, anything. I've got a good opponent ahead of me. It's going to be a really good fight. I believe it's going to be fight of the night. Two undefeated guys going at it, and you can expect to see me keep my O and Lorena move to 2-1.
And where do you think a win against Lorente you in your career? You said he's another undefeated opponent. That's a good scalp to have on your resume. Where do you think that takes you in your career? Where are you looking to go next? I mean, I know not overlooking your opponent, but is there anywhere like any promotions that you'd like to fight in next?
Not really. I haven't really looked past this fight, but I know that a win here can put me in a really big position for whatever's next for me after that. Maybe a title fight on a big organization or something. But as I said, I'm not looking past this fight. Um, so yeah,
Probably, mate. My last question is, what is your official prediction for the fight?
I'm gonna get him out of there in the second round.
Second round, I love it, mate. One more. And I thank you for your time. Is a chance to shout any socials or anything like that? Age of time, any sponsors? Feel free, mate.
Shout out before me, they got the best supplements on the brand. Code Mo25 for discount on there. I've got loads of sponsors, man. I'm always shouting them out on my socials. Without them, I wouldn't be able to train full time and give my all in fight camps. So I just want to give a big shout out to everyone that supports me and sponsors me.
Unbelievable, mate. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.